very dangerous time. And when you stop to think about all 5 planets in Aries, the sign of somebody who wants to get everything their own way, or the sign of the pioneer, opposing Libra, where there's not any planets, because there are no planets in the air signs right now, but Libra rules peace and partnership and compromise and diplomacy and the law. And that is all being threatened right now. Everything that Libra represents is being threatened and overwhelmed by the 5 planets under today's new moon in Aries that are opposing that. There is one planet that is sort of standing up or challenging all the planets in Aries, and it is Pluto in Capricorn, which represents management in large government agencies or corporations that want things to be done for the long haul, for long-term security, and they want them to be done properly and with some sort of method and continuity to it. And so Capricorn can rule governments as well. Capricorn in particular rules Great Britain, and it does rule the state of Texas as well. And so these 5 planets in Aries are being challenged by Pluto in Capricorn, but clearly they are way ahead of the pack right now because they are being beautifully fortified by Mars and Saturn in Sagittarius. Pluto's being fortified as well. It's being trined by Jupiter in Virgo. But these 2 planets in trine are not the same as 7 planets in trine to each other. So we really do have to be on the alert right now for some sort of shocking surprise that can be coming right up. I tried to think of a way to handle this, but I don't think there is a way to handle it. I think it is just going to be something that could surprise us all. And I don't see how it can be stopped. And that is because the 7 planets in fire signs are in a trine, and that is the best aspect among planets. It means that they're all working together really well. And so if somebody wanted to attack someone in a surprising way, this is just about the right time that they may decide to do it. And I think that they can be successful as well. I don't see how much there could be to stop them, particularly if the element of surprise was involved, which I think it will be. But because somebody gets off to a new start, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to succeed in the long run. And in fact, what I think is really going to happen is that whoever is behind a shocking surprise right now, they could begin it, yes. But what I really think is that it is the beginning of the end for them, and that in the end, nothing will be settled. Because, I mean, it's like, you know, you shoot a rocket and it goes up. Well, that's not the end of the story, but that is actually the only story now. There is going to be a new beginning. I think it's going to be shocking or surprising. It probably will succeed. But it doesn't mean, you know, it's going to succeed because it's the first. But I don't think it's going to continue, and eventually there will be ways to stop it. But for right now, I don't think peace or compromise has a chance at all. And so for those people who would rather deal or negotiate, this is just not their time. But it will be eventually. And so I think we are just going to have to play defense right now. And I urge all of you to be very, very careful, particularly careful of anything that is coming at you too quickly, or of the information that you have online. Be sure and guard that, because it could be a cyber attack that comes our way. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, I think you're really in the driver's seat right now. I don't think you can be stopped, Aries, and that is because today the sun, the moon, and Uranus are all conjuncting in your sign, and Uranus is the planet of sudden, surprising change, and Venus and Mercury are also in your sign. So you may have the best intentions, but there is the possibility that you can be goaded by others who do not have good intentions, and that is typified by Mars and Saturn in Sagittarius trining all of the planets in your sign. And those are malefic planets that could have evil intent. So I hope you're not listening to the wrong people right now, Aries, because you might regret that. However, I'm quite sure you are going to be involved with something that could be all-consuming right now. In other words, it could be something ahead of its time. It could be that you're feeling a little rebellious and want to go your own way. It certainly is going to involve some sort of change. And you are going to be right in the center of it, Aries. Either it's your idea and you're going to go for it, or you're going to be involved in it in one way or another. The best outcome would be that you might be thinking of traveling right now. And if you are thinking of traveling, that would be great. You'd certainly be able to do that in the blink of an eye, and it would be successful. But if you were trying to do anything else that could be harmful or deceitful, that could turn out to be a problem. So be really careful about what you're doing right now, Aries, because you probably will succeed since you're in the driver's seat. But you know, if you move too fast, a lot of mistakes could be made and accidents could happen. So I hope you're careful. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, I think that you're sort of doing just fine right where you are, and that is because Jupiter in Virgo is trining your sun, and Pluto in Capricorn is also trining your sun. And they are in earth signs, so that's good. You've got your feet on the ground, and you can be pretty happy with some sort of investment, or it can be that your long-term security is looking good too. It can be sort of set in place, and you can be happy with that. But I guarantee you, Taurus, under today's new moon with 5 planets in Aries right behind your sun sign, there is something going on in the background of your life. Not everyone can see it, but it could be shocking or surprising, or it could just happen right out of the blue, and you would really have to focus on it. I don't know what it would involve, but if you have been working on something behind the scenes, right about now is when your plans could ripen and really get off the ground. So I'm really urging you to stay the course where you are, but with 5 planets right behind your sun sign, there is definitely something going on in the background of your life, Taurus. And all I'm saying is be careful where it lands. In other words, try to ask yourself where it's all going to end up before you take the first step. Because yours is a fixed financial sign, and you really don't have a gambler's nature. And things are looking pretty good this year for you. So, you know, be careful what else, you know, you could bite off a little more than you can chew right now, Taurus. And even though it's happening behind the scenes, it could knock you for a loop. So I urge you to be just a little cautious right now if you can. But look for a shocking surprise, because I think it's going to land on your doorstep behind the scenes. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is simply a time when I think that you need to be really careful as well, and that is because the planets in the mutable signs haven't really changed. They're not quite as many. There's 4 instead of 5, but Neptune in Pisces is still squaring your sun, which means other people are not telling you the whole truth about things, or else you're kidding yourself about something. And Jupiter in Virgo is squaring your sun, meaning there is a health or an accounting or banking matter that you need to attend to. And then Mars and Saturn in Sagittarius, backed up by those 5 planets in Aries. Those 2 planets in Sagittarius are forcefully opposing your sun sign, which means there can be people around with old grudges, or there can be people who just have evil intent, and they wouldn't mind knocking you out of the ballpark, Gemini. And so I would lower your profile right now, or step back into the shadows just for safety's sake, because I don't think that anything can stop the evil intent of all 7 of these planets in fire signs trining each other. And so this is a time when people need to be really, really careful. And that's with everything, and particularly for you, Gemini. However, those 5 planets in Aries do sextile your sun today, which means the new moon and the sun are there, as well as Uranus, Venus, and Mercury, your own ruler. And since they do sextile your sun, if there is some sort of shocking surprise, it may help open the door for you, Gemini. It may give you some sort of opportunity. And as long as it isn't aimed at you, you'll come out okay. But you still have to watch out for these people that are sort of after you right now. And that's why I would keep a low profile. However, if there's a surprise somewhere, I think you may be able to take advantage of it in one way or another. Just be cautious in all of your actions right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time when you have to understand that it's not quite your time. And by that I mean yours is a cardinal sign. And so today's new moon in Aries with the Sun, Moon, Uranus, Venus, and Mercury there, we're all squaring your sun sign. So you are going to be severely challenged by a shocking surprise, Cancer. And I think it's on the part of someone else that they are going to rebel, or they're going to do their own thing, or they're just going to take off, or there is some new beginning that could really sort of rock your boat because you may not be included in it, or you may not want to go along with it at all. In fact, I don't think it's going to make you happy. And so Pluto in Capricorn is opposing your sun sign as well, so that makes 6 planets in cardinal signs, all harshly aspecting your own sun sign. And there's only 1 planet in a water sign right now, and it is Neptune in Pisces, which is trining your sun. So you need to go behind the scenes, and you too need to keep an extremely low profile. And even though you have tender feelings and they can be hurt easily, I would say this is just not quite your time, Cancer, and it would be better if you stepped way back. And you may have to absorb some sort of shocking surprise right now. And you'll just have to sort of absorb it, because I don't think you can fight back. I think it's overwhelming, and there's nothing you can do. And I don't think you are generating it. It's somebody else. But you'll have to simply absorb it at this time. Don't worry, better times are coming. But for right now, I don't think there's much you can do about it. So try to be graceful and quiet. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, you are the beneficiary of all 7 planets, the 5 in Aries today and the 2 in Sagittarius, because all 7 of those planets trine your own sun sign. So if there is a shocking surprise that is coming up real soon, or might have just happened, or it's just going to happen, it is going to impact you, Leo, and it sort of depends on what side of the fence you're sitting on, because it could involve you having to react to something very, very fast. And it could be something that provides an opening for you, because it could be a new beginning, and it could be very unusual or ahead of its time. Or it could be that there are people with evil intent around, or who have very bad news, and they sort of want to dump it all on you. So you have to be a little bit careful how you respond to some shocking surprise right now, Leo. And if I were you, I would not move too fast, because other people are going to be moving so fast that there can be mistakes made or accidents happen. And I don't think you want to be in the middle of that, do you, Leo? So I do think you're going to be involved. I think you're going to have enough energy to react quickly. It's just that you need to look before you leap right now, Leo, because you may not know enough information, and that is why you have to be sort of careful right now. But you will certainly, no matter what's thrown at you, you're going to have the will and the energy to handle it well. It's just you have to ask yourself, in the end, what good will it do you? Because remember, somebody's going to be successful at doing things their own way now. It doesn't mean that anything is settled, though. Nothing's going to get settled from that. That's why you have to be a little bit careful in your choices right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is simply a time that I think that you certainly can align with management or people who want to stand by policies and procedures that ensure long-term security and the stability and security of people in large corporations or government agencies. And you can be feeding them factual information and plans and details and results and accounting figures that they really appreciate right now. So you can be working pretty hard, Virgo. And so at one level, you're doing just great and your support is solid. But at another level, I think that you can be sort of rocked right now or severely challenged, particularly by the two planets, Mars and Saturn in Sagittarius, which are malefic planets, and they are squaring your sun. And they are really well backed up today because of the 5 planets in Aries that are trining them. So people who have been trying to make your life miserable are going to be on a rampage right now, Virgo. And there could be many different things that could upset you right now. And that's why you have to understand you can't please everybody, and it isn't even your fault that people are coming after you right now. So I'm not exactly suggesting that you hide right now, but you might be very discreet and withdraw or go on vacation right now, Virgo, and try to seek some peace of mind, because otherwise I think that you can be vulnerable to some sort of attack or snide remarks or criticism that you really don't deserve at all. That's why you need to withdraw. So I hope you do. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, remember I said peace just doesn't have a chance right now. And that means you don't either, Libra. And that means if you're trying to initiate something, or you're trying to help people compromise, or you want to negotiate some sort of peace deal, or something where it sort of brings all sides together and reconciles them, which you are very good at, Libra, and you like to be fair and balanced. I don't think that's possible right now, but I am not suggesting that you change. You shouldn't do that. The world needs peacekeepers, and your sign rules the law. We do need law and order, but this isn't a particularly good time for that because all 5 planets in Aries are opposing your sun sign. So I think that you are going to be severely challenged by a shocking surprise. And it does mean that your plans may have to change, Libra. And also Pluto in Capricorn is squaring your sun sign, which means that people who make policy may not be having your best interest in mind at all. What can you do? I think you just have to realize that, you know, on some days the rain falls, and this may be one of them for you, or this could be a week when that happens, Libra. But I want to assure you, even if you can't necessarily change the effects or the outcome of a shocking surprise right now, there are better days coming for you. In fact, there's a wonderful year coming for you. And it doesn't mean that you can fight back at the moment, and you don't like to fight anyway. But when Jupiter comes into your sun sign on September 7th and stays in your sun sign for a whole year until the fall of 2017, don't worry, Libra. You're really going to make up for lost time. So hold the faith right now, or hold the thought, and realize that, you know, we can't win them all. And so try to be philosophical right now, Libra, and try to cushion yourself somehow against some sort of shocking surprise. Find a way to reconcile that in your own mind so that you can have a little peace at the moment. And that will be hard to do. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, I think that you are going to see the effects of some sort of shocking surprise, and that it could make you sort of go into high gear and have to work very hard. And the reason why is that Mars and Saturn in Sagittarius are right ahead of your sun sign, and they are really being set off by the 5 planets in Aries today under the new moon. And they are malefic planets. And one rules war and aggression, and the other one rules obstacles and delays and grudges. And so those 2 planets right ahead of your sun sign doesn't mean that you are going to be attacked, but it could be in your near vicinity. Or you could say to yourself, oops, we're having some sort of sudden shocking surprise right now, and I've got to do something about it. And I think that that is going to sort of put you into motion right now. And it could be for a number of reasons. But I think you're about to be very, very busy, not of your own choice, but because you have to react to something. and help with something. And that'll event or attack, nothing is going to be settled by it. And so there's actually a longer road to go on, and you have the stamina, since yours is a fixed sign, to finish something off. And you may have to, Scorpio. So just stand by, and I don't think it's going to hit you, but I think you will be involved in reacting to it. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Sagittarius, this is a time when you really need to make up your mind about something, because I think you've been sitting on the fence for a long time, and you cannot afford to do that anymore. And on top of that, the 5 planets in Aries today are all trining your sun sign where you have Mars and Saturn. But they are being squared by Neptune in Pisces and also by Jupiter in Virgo. So you may have been doing some wishful thinking, or you may have been sort of refusing to look at all the facts of a matter. But now you really have to, so you got to get off that fence, Sagittarius, and really go into action. And hopefully it is constructive, not destructive. So you can't wait any longer, Sagittarius. You really have to do something. And so you do have to take action, but luckily all 5 of those planets in Aries are supporting you right now, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, I think that you are in for some sort of jolt. And I think that it can rock your boat because it could be a shocking surprise, and I don't think you're going to like it. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen to you, but it does mean that you will have to react to it. And you don't like to react to things in a hurried manner that can result in a lot of mistakes. Yours is a methodical sign. You like to sort of not skip steps and sort of go by the book and handle procedures and investigate matters. And so Pluto in your sign is actually squaring all 5 planets under today's new moon in Aries: the Sun, Moon, Uranus, Venus, and Mercury. And so in a way, it is you that is going to have the only calm voice in the room. Because you can say, wait a minute, we do not need to go off the deep end and do something impulsively without considering how it's going to end up. And yours is a sign that likes to think of consequences before you take action. So I think you're going to resist any surprising new start that just comes out of nowhere. But of course that can sort of ruin your day as well. But it might be, you might be the only one with a calm voice of reason. And so you'll just have to stand your ground right now, Capricorn, no matter how many shocking surprises there are. I don't think you should change anything right now. Just be the sane voice in the room. I think you're going to need to be. And just remember, whoever is behind a shocking surprise is probably going to be successful. So don't try to defeat them. Just keep your calm voice and remain with your own values right now. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time with no planets in any of the fixed signs when there isn't enough strength anywhere to resist any kind of shocking surprise. There's reasons why people are just not up to it right now, and part of it is the force of the shocking surprise. Whatever is going to really shock people, it has a lot of speed to it, a lot of momentum. It could have a lot of evil intent. And so, it's going to happen. But at the same time, it's not going to settle anything. It's just going to be sort of an overwhelmingly successful first strike. Or if somebody really wants to have their own way, they're going to get it right now. And so, Aquarius, it's your ruler, Uranus, that is in the midst of all of this and is being conjuncted by the Sun and the Moon today and trined by Mars and Saturn. And so I would say the future is at risk right now. And, you know, I advise you almost to do nothing, Aquarius, right now. Let the dust settle. Or I don't think anyone can resist a shocking surprise right now. I think it's just going to happen. It may not be the same type of shocking surprise for everybody, but whatever does happen, Aquarius, just realize that there isn't enough backing to stop it or halt it. And there are no planets in fixed signs. Well, there's no planets in air signs either, and yours is an air sign. So I think you should just keep real quiet right now, Aquarius, and wait and see what happens. And then you can decide what to do about it. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time when you can run into a little bit of trouble. And the reason why is there's only one planet in a water sign right now, and it's Neptune, your own ruler in your sign. So it is there, but it is being countered or opposed by Jupiter in Virgo, meaning you may not have been facing all the facts, particularly about a health matter, and that could be your mental health as well as your physical health. You might be a good idea if you did face the facts, but you may not want to. And Mars and Saturn in Sagittarius are squaring your sun sign, but they are so forceful right now. They're backed up by all the planets in Aries. And it simply means that if somebody wants to demand quite a bit of you and wants to criticize you, they could really decide to do it. And so you need to be a little bit cautious. Do not be around anybody who is dangerous or who could harm you or harm your health in any way, because you would be vulnerable to that. And on top of that, all 5 planets in Aries are right ahead of your sun sign. You may be witness to some sort of shocking surprise. And I'm hoping that you are not hit by it. But you have to be very, very careful right now, Pisces, because there is danger around. And you may not really see it, because Neptune is in your sign, making you think that things are rosy when actually they are not. They are far more dangerous. So I hope you're really careful right now, Pisces. Just be as quiet as you can and hold back if you can. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.